Start the recording. Oh, yay, we're going. Okay, so guys, I am so excited. We had, I had, and the leadership team really had this sort of major breakthrough today, and it really started or not today, this in the last week, and it really started last week with a conversation Lindsay and I were having about really how to take this team to the next level, we want people to do this way faster than we did. I mean, we see people coming on board, maxing out in 2 years, hitting millionaire in 3 years, really moving very quickly. And I was thinking about really how, what I did at the beginning that really created some of that. And I want to tell you guys a story about how I connected with Lindsay and Elliot, because I don't know if all of you know this, and it really was the story quickly. So when I started, one of the things I remember I had the privilege, I had a conversation with Kathy Coover right off the bat, and she said, right away, you want to ask people, who do you know who's influential? Who do you know who's a go-getter? Who do you know who could really do this? Get them on the phone with me. And I thought, okay, the founder of the company is telling me this. I better do that, right? That's what I should do. And so really that's what I did. Now, Lindsay and Elliot are 4 levels down from me. I did not enroll them. So I enrolled a gal named Cheryl who came on for the product, and then she really wanted to do the business because she had a really great product experience. Now she was enrolling some people, and one of the people she enrolled was her insurance agent, Brad. Now he only used the products for 1 month, but during that 1 month, he introduced it to his neighbor, Dean, who came to a presentation that we were doing, and I connected with Dean. And Dean was Dean was a salesman, and he saw the vision of this, and he said, I really want to do something with this. I really want to build this. And I said, okay, great. Who do you know? I mean, I was channeling Kathy Coover. Who do you know who's a go-getter? Who do you know who could really do this? Who do you know who's amazing and who's got energy and could, really run with this? And he said, well, I work with this called him a young kid. And he said he could be amazing. I said, okay, get me on the phone with him, like right away. In the next 2 days, I want you to get me on the phone with Elliot. And he's like, okay, great, I'll do that. So he got me on the phone with Elliot, and I painted the vision for Elliot. And then I also knew, because I had been told, get people to events as quickly as you can. And there was an event in Vancouver, which is 3 hours from us, that Jim and Kathy Coover were going to be speaking at. And I just said, Elliot, whatever you do, we're putting you in a car, you got to get up to this event. And we got Elliot to the event. And that's where he caught the vision. Okay? Now, he hadn't been involved very long at this, and saw, wow, I could do something with this. Dean said to me, he said, Lisa, you got to get hold of Elliot's fiance, Lindsay, because she could really do this too. She's amazing. So I, again, said, okay, Elliot, I mean, it was this urgency, right? I needed to make this happen quickly. So I said, Elliot, get me on the phone with Lindsay. He was going down. He was living in Seattle at the time. He was going down to Phoenix for the weekend to visit Lindsay. And I said, your one job while you're there is to get her on the phone with me. I said, you don't leave Phoenix until I have had a conversation with Lindsay. And because I knew initially that with Dean, Dean didn't know, he couldn't paint a vision for what this was. He was too new. So I knew I needed to do that with Elliot. And Elliot was too new to paint that vision for Lindsay, right? He had told her what he was doing, but she was kind of like guarded because he didn't necessarily know how to paint the vision for it. It was exactly what she was looking for. Exactly what she was looking for. He told her, I got us involved with the pyramid scheme. And so I said, get me on the phone with Lindsay. And Lindsay and I connected. And then I said, okay, let's get you to an event. And so I basically said, whatever you do, there's an Isogenics University coming up. I'm flying to Phoenix. You need to get to that event. And they came to the event, and the rest is history. But one of the things, the aha moment for this with me was that there was an urgency very quickly. Let's get people on, when people are new, if you don't feel like you have the ability to really paint that compelling vision, then what you want to do is you want to get those influencers, you want to get those people on the phone with somebody who can. And it can really just explode. My team just exploded from that. And one other example, and then I'm going to pass it off here. One other example of this is I had a guy who was on the team, and this guy was an amazing enroller, but I also knew he didn't know how to lead, enroll them. He had influence, but that's pretty much all he did. And so I knew I needed to follow in behind him with his people as quickly as possible, right? And get in touch with them and paint that vision for them so we could keep them in and keep them going. So I said to him, I said, okay, who you've enrolled, he could enroll 32 people in a month. Okay. I mean, but it was like in one door, out the next, because he didn't do anything with them. So I said, okay, you enrolled a whole bunch of people this month. Who of all those people could really do something with this? Who is an influencer? Who's a go-getter? Who's good at whatever they do? Get me on the phone with them. And he did. And I built an incredible team just from that whole organization, right? Now, the guy who originally came in, he's not even involved with Isogenics anymore. But there's a huge team down below him that is, because I went in behind and I connected with those people. So I wanted to tell you guys that story to really paint the vision that three-way calls, getting somebody on the phone immediately, like right away, is the most important thing that you can do. And Erin, I want to turn it over to you now to explain really why we use three-way calls, what the benefit of that is. So Erin, take it away.
Yes, and I would love to, thank you, Lisa. I love that story. It's actually the first time I had heard it earlier. How many people love people? By a show of hands. Dawn did not have her hand up. And how many people really love just to connect with other people, share what you're up to, and yeah, there you go, Michelle. She already had it. Who loves just connecting with people? Mm-hmm. Lauren looked like a little bit. Now, how many people find it really easy and fun to have the conversation for someone starting and enrolling in Isogenics? Okay. I mean, definitely the hands seem to be a little bit further down. So imagine if you took the part of loving people and talking and connecting with people, and you had some sort of tool to having someone start in Isogenics and become part of this team. Now, how many would just be inspired and lit up by that?
Mm-hmm. Yup.
Wow, Aubrey, come on. That is the power of the three-way call. And I had talked with Kylie, she's not on here, but I said the same thing to her. I said, you are a natural connector. You're social. You love people. You're talking to people all the time. And I'm like, well, you know, what's stopping you? She says something gets in the way when she goes to have this conversation about Isagenix. And so I said, well, what if that wasn't there? She's like, this would be so easy and fun. I said, yes, we're going to do that with a three-way call. So a three-way call, you can go out there and be connecting with people. And then all you're going to want to do is get them on the phone with someone that's been there, that loves actually having the conversation for people to start. We're here on this call, have heard all the objections. We also love connecting with people. But when you get on a three-way call, what happens is you actually get additional validation, right? It goes from you sharing with your friend who now may think you're trying to sell them something out of the trunk of your car, or, you know, something that you got stashed away at your house. This actually becomes like, oh, so there's actually more people involved than just you. Oh, okay. So you get a little bit of validation, and then you get to hear a story from somebody else. And there's so many people that are inspiring. I mean, all of us are inspiring. And there's going to be a story that resonates with your friend. And so you can hear my energy right now, right? So three-way call, you get validation. If you have me on a three-way call, you're getting this energy already. And as much as we talked on this team, it's about your energy. It's about your vibration. I see Rachel getting excited over there. It's a passion that you bring, even more than what you say. So let somebody else bring that energy, that passion, that ease, that fun into a call, because that's the most important part anyway. And yes, we've heard all the objections. And so the thing also here is, for an effective three-way call, you really want to have your person set up for success. And what I mean by that is you're connecting, you send them a tool, and they're actually leaning into the conversation. They're leaning into that they want to have this vision of amazing health because they can play with their kids more. Or they're leaning into the vision like, wow, if I had $500 extra a month, what I'll be able to do with my kids or for my kids, or I could stop doing part of my job, which I hate, and I would feel freedom. So you want them to have seen a tool and be leaning in, and then have them on this with, you know, one of us that has been there, has done that, and then we're going to bring all of that energy. We're going to bring that conversation, and it's going to be such an easy, flowing, fun conversation. It's just going to be wildly more effective. So the goal here is to be out there connecting, what you're all great at, and then get on as many three-way calls as possible. And please, like, Jocelyn and I are here in Denver. Lisa is sitting on her couch. Lindsay and Elliot are there in Arizona. We are waiting for you to fill up our calendars with three-way calls. Like, please. I can only speak for myself, maybe. I love talking with people.
He loves it.
I
literally.
seriously love it. Fill my calendar up with this. You cannot overschedule. You will not be taking our time away. This is literally what we want to be doing. This is part of the business. Lisa said, this is literally what I live for. So please do not feel like anybody on this team that you ask that you're taking any time away, because, I mean, if we're in this business, we love connecting with people. And it's fun. So I would like to just go over to Lindsay really quick. Lindsay, how have you been implementing the three-way call, and what sort of differences has that been making?
Yeah, and I think we want to take kind of a step back too, and also touch on, everyone is going to have their own way of approaching this. Every conversation, we just really encourage you, use your intuition where you introduce this. Yes, the goal is to have, you know, that segue. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out who's okay, muted. But you may have to build that relationship before you introduce the three-way call. So use your intuition. If you're not sure, if there's someone you're really working to connect with, you know, talk to one of us. Be okay, here are the conversations I've had with this person. What would be a good way to introduce it? So know that you can always use one of us as a resource to even brainstorm how to introduce that. But for the most part, I would say the two most effective ways that I've used to segue to a three-way call is, number one, sharing my vision, what I'm up to. And then when the person starts asking more, I say something like, I would love for you to hear more about this. I don't know if it's for you or not, but let me connect you with, this is literally what I would say in the beginning. I don't know how to explain it the best. I would love for you to connect with Lisa, who's been mentoring me. She's been really successful in this. I bet you would love her. You'd really resonate with her. I come from the standpoint of what's in it for them to connect with this person. We don't want to make it seem like we want to connect them for us, for our benefit. What's in it for them? Edify the person you're going to connect them with, such that they're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk to this person. They sound so much like me, or they sound, like they really have some valuable information. So I always tee it up with, what's either a pain point that I know they're dealing with, such that they might be open to looking at Isagenix. Maybe I've already sent them a tool, they're in the fact-finding process, and I just really want to honor that. Second is, what's in it for them? That's the best way to set up a three-way call. It might just be as simple as, oh my gosh, you would love my girlfriend Jocelyn. She has such a powerful story, and so much of you and your best qualities remind me of her. I've got to connect you to. So it's not like, hey, please come to this sales call so Jocelyn can close you. No, that's weird. Don't do that. But if you keep it, at least this is my style, and trust you will have your own style. Mine is, this is a people business. I want to connect some of my favorite people and help others get the information that they want and need. So I keep it really casual. Oh my gosh, you would love my husband Elliot. I pimp this guy out all the time. You would love my husband Elliot. He's got such a great story. So I really edify the other person, and then why I think that would make a good connection. So there's that piece. And then just really, I encourage everyone, and something we're going to have you do is actually write a list of some people you would like to. I'm stealing a little bit of Michael's thunder, but I'm saying this because if you have questions about, okay, this person really scares me, they're really influential, how in the world do I bring this up to them? Connect with someone and brainstorm it. There's no right or wrong way to approach a conversation if you're just leading from a servant's heart and you just want to contribute something to another individual. So then to answer Aaron's question, I still to this day use three-way calls. I've been on 2 three-way calls within the last 36 hours. And the reason being, it's not that, do you think I can answer people's questions now? Like, I eat, sleep, breathe Isagenix. There's literally nothing I haven't had to answer at this point. But there is something to be said about the third-party validation. So I want you to get that you're not bringing someone on a three-way call because you don't know enough or you're a newbie. And I would encourage you in the process of setting up the three-way call, you don't have to downgrade yourself and be like, I'm stupid, I don't know what I'm talking about. You can just say, look, I think you would get so much value from hearing it from so-and-so. We can answer your questions together. In fact, I'd love to hear what Lisa has to say about that. That's a great question. I'd love to connect with Lisa and hear what she has to say too. But what I'm doing is I'm also adding in a third-party validation. There are going to be some people in your life who are going to have a hard time seeing you as a business authority. Maybe they babysat you when you were younger. They still see you in diapers. So when you come in and say, hey, I have this business I want you to look at, with some people in our lives, they're just not going to hear it the same from us. And time again, both when I'm bringing friends and family of mine onto three-way calls and having, and it doesn't always have to be someone who's like been in Isagenix longer than you. There are going to be times where, I had Jocelyn on a three-way call. I enrolled Jocelyn, but I bring people to her all the time because she has such a powerful story. So it's about leveraging other stories in the team that your person would resonate with. So it's the third-party validation. It's just showing that person that there's so much more support than just you, and it helps people see a bigger vision than maybe they would be able to hear from you. And you're going to be that third-party voice, that third-party validation for someone else. Anything else on that?
Yeah, just a quick add. If you do 10 three-way calls with Lindsay and you're a little bit newer to a three-way call, you're going to pick up how Lindsay says things, how she responds to people. And when your people start coming to you for three-way calls, it's amazing. You'll start regurgitating stuff that you didn't even know was inside your brain. I catch myself saying stuff Lisa told me like 4 years ago, and I'm like, how is that coming out of my brain right now? But literally, like, the more three-way calls you do, not only is it amazing to connect them, but it's also good just to hear different stories, how different people respond different ways. It's a learning experience for yourself. So there's just so much benefit to a three-way call.
Cool. And I know we're going to wrap it up at the end, but Michael, we'll throw it over to you for right now.
Yeah, there were so many powerful things that I wanted to create as you guys were talking, and it's so funny, like as the conversation goes on, each thing that I think about, you guys end up covering, and I'm like, dang it, what am I going to say now? But really, in the context of what we're creating, what does all this mean? What is all of this for? Why three-way calls? It's in the game that we're playing, the game of isogenics, we as leaders are out to create ourselves as executives. So what does that actually look like? Well, all that is 10 powerful conversations. That is nothing more than 10 powerful conversations. And now you have this tool where you can leverage the people on our team to have those conversations. So Lindsay clued us into this now, or previously, but now we're going to do it. So we want to know, who are those people? So let's pause. Let's take 2 minutes, and I want you to actually take this time to write down, make a list of 10 people. Who are the influencers in your life? Who are the go-getters? Who are the self-starters? Who do you actually think would be amazing at this? And maybe you've been just a little too scared to approach them so far. And who are the people that you're committed to having a three-way call with this week? So 10 names of the people you're committed to having a three-way call with. There go. All right, so hands up for all the people that got all the way to 10. Elliot, do not lie. So really, that's the opportunity of this week, and that's really the opportunity, even more so, for the rest of your life in network marketing. So let's have one person share, and then we'll close up the call. So who would like to share, inside of the conversation that we're having, what is opening up newly for you?
I'll share, and then I'd love to hear from one other person too. Just the idea, if you think of how simple that is, to set your goal for 10 powerful conversations. You might have to talk to 50 people before you have the 10 that ultimately, say yes to having a closer look at isogenics on a three-way phone call. But 10 powerful conversations could lead to your 10 consultants, your first 10 consultants for executive. Like that just kept it so simple for me. 7 years in, and I'm still getting ahas.
It's so good. It's just a great point to make about the number of people, because people are not numbers, but it is a numbers game. Michelle Dever, is that your name? You're getting called out right now to share.
Oh, hi. I'm getting called out to share what
Yeah, what's opening up for you out of this conversation?
Actually, I had a 3-way call with Lindsay and Jocelyn about 2 hours ago. So I don't know if you have ESP with everybody or if it's just with Lindsay, so you already knew that. But yeah, so I've talked to Lindsay once on the phone before the 3-way call, and she connected me with Jocelyn because I'm also a nurse. So our backgrounds kind of can click a little bit there. And really, it's awesome to hear both of their backgrounds and their different visions that are very similar, actually. And it's inspiring to hear from other people, when you're just talking to one person, and it does give a little bit more validation and give some different perspectives. And it excites people. I think that's what I took away from our 3-way call, is that I was excited to have like a next step, like, okay, well, if you guys can do it and you've been there and you kind of give me a timeline of something that's reasonable, like it doesn't take, it can happen overnight. But I mean, Jocelyn, you told me in 2.5 years, you're a global nurse, you retired from the hospital setting. So it gives you your own goals to shoot for. And I'm all about the 3-way calls now.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I do have ESP. I did not know that just happened. And thank you for totally validating everything we just said. So if you're not going to listen to us, you have to listen to Michelle, because she just brought it home.
I'm a newbie, and that's the best part about it, is I don't know. So let's have you talk with my mentors, A or B, like Jocelyn or Lindsay. So
good. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. You just made my day.
Okay, so let's bring it home. And Michelle, you are so awesome. That literally could not have worked out better. But I think this actually made me think of one final point as we wrap this up is, so Michelle has actually been enrolled since January. And we noticed she'd been enrolling others. She's actually enrolled 9 people already since January, since she started. And we noticed there was activity going on. So we reached down to her. She isn't personally enrolled by either Jocelyn or I. So the thing to remember is you don't have to be the superstar. You don't even have to know the superstar. It's all about talent scouting within your own team. So possibly one option would be some of the 3-way calls you'll set up this week are with people who are already enrolled and loving the product and open to learning about what's fully available. So you can talent scout within your own team, people who are already enrolled, and those are great people to connect with others as well to paint a bigger vision. So a couple of announcements as we wrap this up. Celebration tickets. If you don't already have your celebration ticket, and just like Lisa created at the beginning, events are everything. I mean, Elliot literally did call me and said, babe, I joined a pyramid. And I said, well, what's that? A game show? I had no idea, never been introduced to network marketing before, but I had been reading a daily affirmation. This is the thing I want you to get. Elliot talked to me. I even talked to Lisa. I didn't get it until I went to an event. All the while, I had been reading an affirmation that said, I am so happy and fulfilled to have started a business that combines my passion for personal development with health and fitness. And I didn't see this when I was first introduced to it. So events are crucial. Getting yourself there, getting your team there, celebration being like the big daddy of them all. So celebration tickets are close to selling out. Smaller stepping stone events, we're doing a virtual Facebook Live opportunity event. It's just a way to, in a really casual way, without even having to ask people to leave their home, they can hop on Facebook. We're doing it next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific. This handsome face and myself will be just sharing the vision of Isagenix, the products, the business, just kind of a full overview of the opportunity. And you can invite your people in your life you've been sharing with. So I recommend you actually have a conversation with them to invite them, then add them. Don't just rely on adding people to a Facebook invite. Like actually pick up the phone, invite someone, create why you thought of them for that event. There is confirmation that the Seasonal shake, the peach mango. We've heard several pretty reliable accounts that peach mango is dropping tomorrow. So be prepared. Thank you for the sound effects. Be prepared to reach out to your team, share with people that are already enrolled and those who you think might really love that flavor. I've actually had new enrollments just from seasonal shake releases because it's kind of like a good gateway drug. I don't know if that's a good way to say it, but
act like you're a casual drug dealer again. We talked about it.
I don't do drugs. Someone asked to repeat the date for the virtual event. The invite on Facebook is posted in the business group. That's next Wednesday, the 24th, I believe. Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. So look in the Facebook group for that. And then, drum roll please, we are going to be announcing, thank you, new team challenge in the Facebook product group immediately after this call. So you're going to want to hop on Facebook, look for the Facebook Live. Don't be surprised if you see our faces again. That's just a spoiler alert right there. But this is going to be, we create these challenges as a way for you to reach back out to the people you've been sharing with. Invite them to participate. A lot of people right now are kind of feeling like, oh yeah, those New Year's goals, I kind of forgot about those. I know I got off track with my consistency. So there's a teaser. We're going to be announcing a new challenge in the product group in like T-minus 5 minutes.
One thing, who has their celebration ticket?
Ooh.
Because they are selling out. It literally will change your life to get yourself there and other people there on your team. So they are almost sold out. I highly recommend it. You're like, yeah, the celebrations are almost sold out. Like, I don't even know if people heard that. They're almost sold out. Get your ticket. All right, that's it.
He's calling me out. The product group, Stronger Together. So go in Stronger Together, the just regular Stronger Together group. That's where we're going to be announcing the announcement of announcing things. Okay, clearly we've not been drinking or anything. We're just excited about life, and we can't wait to see you all over in the product group. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.